Hey guys, this is Mike Bradley with Lightheart Labs, and I just wanted to hang out with you on this Tuesday and show you something that I thought was pretty cool. So, a lot of people will be familiar with this screen. This is ChatGPT as it exists today. And this is how a lot of people access artificial intelligence and LLMs and get a lot of their AI stuff done. What they may not know is the second screen, which looks very similar. This is Open Web UI. The beauty of Open Web UI is it's essentially a program that allows you to host local artificial intelligence on your own device while still looking just like what you're used to, like ChatGPT or Claude, etc. You can tell these two interfaces are nearly identical, but the big difference between them is on this screen with ChatGPT, I'm talking to a model in the cloud that's owned by OpenAI. And on this screen with Open Web UI, I'm talking to an open source, locally hosted version of GPT on my own computer. So I thought it would be fun to do some fun little tests with these two guys while we're sitting here today. So let's start with just a basic question. So one of the first things you're going to pick up right away is the model that's running on my computer is fast as heck compared to the one that's running in the cloud. So this one that's just killing it and just flooding my screen with all of this information really, really fast. That's not the standard web browser version of ChatGPT you would interact with. This is just running on my own local computer. There's a couple of different reasons for that. So one, it doesn't have to go up to the cloud and talk to an organization to be able to get a response. It's much faster. It's just happening locally. But the other thing is it's not fighting for bandwidth. So when you're talking to ChatGPT traditionally, you're fighting with a whole bunch of other users for server space, for memory space, for compute, for access to resources that everyone else is trying to use. So you kind of get this unintended consequence as well, right? So like I reached out to ChatGPT. This is 5.1. This is their latest model. I said, tell me about HVAC. And you can tell like the answer that I get is really kind of sparse. I reach out and I ask the model running on my computer to tell me about HVAC. And it writes this whole in-depth, really, really powerful overview with tables and metrics and all kinds of things I can look at, considerations that I could have, all these different ways that I could think about HVAC. One of the reasons for that is OpenAI is trying to protect their resources. So when you send a response to them, they're going to try to answer it with as little compute as possible with their answer. When it's running on your own local machine, there's no incentive to do that. It's just going to give you the best possible answer it can think to give for the problem. So in this one nifty kind of simple little example, the thing that I would actually pay for, I am paying $20 a month for ChatGPT, actually gave me a less in-depth answer, less quickly. It actually took more time for it to generate this short little thing than this whole massive amount of answer that I got off of my local machine. But also that I didn't really sacrifice anything with my UI. So if I'm used to dealing with a friendly little interface like this, I've got it right here with Open Web UI as well. What a lot of people are probably missing when they look at locally hosting models is they're thinking about a couple of things. They're thinking about one, is my experience going to get worse? Am I going to get less quality of response from my interactions? And I think this right here just kind of clearly makes the case that that's not true. You can run local models and actually kick butt compared to what you're doing presently. And the other one is like a user experience and interface, which I think we make kind of clear here too, that you're not really losing anything. It could be just as simple as going to a website The only difference is this website's running on my local computer network. It's not on the internet, and this one is. So everything that I type here, everything that I talk about here, this is just between me and my computer. It doesn't go anywhere. So if it's analyzing a customer email, if it's going over company data that I want to process, that doesn't go anywhere. That doesn't go to the cloud. That doesn't go to OpenAI. It's just running on my computer locally, which is pretty awesome. Versus cloud-based ChatGPT, anything that I type here, anything that I add to this interface, we know at a minimum it's leaving my computer, it's going to OpenAI, it's being processed by their servers, and we're trusting that that data isn't being used for anything else. Depending on the sensitivity of your data, what your needs are, how much respect you want to give for your customers and their privacy, I personally would take that leap of faith that everything that you're putting in here is safe. Versus doing things on your local computer, it doesn't go anywhere. This thing is unplugged from the internet. It doesn't have to have any connection whatsoever, and it can still do exactly what it's doing. Cost, just worth noting since we're going over the operations of these two systems. So running GPT 120B locally on my computer, that requires a computer that costs roughly $10,000 or $11,000. So it's not cheap. An important thing to keep in mind is this can host a heck of a lot of users parallel. You could host 30, 50, 60 people off of just one of these rigs, all interacting with the same interface, being able to process all of their chats. It's not a machine that you buy for one person. It's a machine that you buy to replace GPT for a whole small company. And you can just buy more nodes, the more needs that you have. If you've got presently roughly 30, 33 employees using a GPT Teams plan in your company, you could pay for one of these computers in 12 months. The payback would be that fast, just by being able to cancel those subscriptions and run locally. I just want to give people an idea of what this looks like. A lot of people think running local AI, it's going to be messy, it's going to be complicated, it's going to be slow. I hope at a minimum, just looking here, you're realizing it's none of those things. It's actually very clean. It's super fast. It's actually giving better responses than what I'm getting with my subscription plan with GPT 5.1. And the ROI for doing this stuff, even setting aside the customer privacy concerns, data privacy concerns, the ROI of running this stuff locally, if you're a small to medium-sized business, is actually crazy good. You could buy one of these rigs before the year closes out, and you could pay for it by this time next year. Write it off on taxes this year. It's printing money for you by November, December of next year. You get privacy, data sovereignty. You get better control over the types of responses that you're getting to your information and your inputs. And you can have a really, really clean user interface with really, really high quality compute and data. So either way, that was it. Just wanted to hang out with you guys on a Tuesday morning and just kind of show you what the face of this stuff looks like and that it's nowhere near as scary as what you're probably imagining. So with that, I hope I was helpful. I hope you guys have an incredible day and take care.